Good morning. It is 8:30 a.m. on a beautiful, partly cloudy, 76-degree morning. And as you see, the greenhouse is not open yet. Just came out to do my morning check. And dealing with bugs. I don't know if you can see that very, very tiny guy just crawling. And they fly, as you see. I don't know if they're gnats or what, but about 4 yesterday, they were basically almost covering the greenhouse, and they just haven't left yet. They don't seem to really be on the plants per se. I don't know what they are, but there were a lot of them yesterday, and they're still out here. But as you can see, if you can see, there's one up there, and there, and there, and there. And as you see, they seem to prefer the east side roof and front door of the greenhouse. I don't know what that's about. But anyway, the plants seem to be fine. Nothing seems to be nibbled up. So I guess I can be content. As you see, there is the solar panel. Not getting much sun right now because it's partly cloudy. And I haven't opened up just yet. And then there is the second solar panel. This one is facing southeast, and the one I just showed you is facing east. I ended up having to put them on the ground yesterday evening. And I don't know what I'm going to do after this, because I just realized last night that that west row or area of the greenhouse, I'm going to take the table and the chairs and move them out over there, because it's just going to be too hot in the summer to come in there and sit. That is going to be my Egyptian spinach, and I'm going to put some okra in grow bags, because okra loves heat. So if the okra is on the ground, the panels cannot be on the ground. So I gotta figure that out. Alright, so let's open up the greenhouse. Alright, the greenhouse is open. It's humid in here. Like immediately when you step in, it's humid. Which is not a bad thing. Just can't stay too humid for too long to keep mold and fungus and stuff. Once the floret is getting bigger, nothing else is really happening there, but it might be a second one. I think there might be a third or fourth one somewhere around here, but he's just massive. All right, so I intentionally got a 4x8 screen. And there's a few of them inside, but just a few. They didn't really seem to want to come inside yesterday. Sorry, I'm so distracted from looking now. But anyway, I intentionally got a 4x8 shade screen, so as you see, it just only covers just the top of the roof, because sun needs to still come in here for things to grow. So basically every morning I just come open it up. And this is not an expensive greenhouse. So unfortunately, I have to keep these clamps on to keep the window handle in place from the wind. It's already starting to feel different in here from that, but what I wanted to check was the temperature before I get to opening stuff up. 76 degrees outside. We are roughly a little under 80 degrees, about 78 degrees in the greenhouse. Fans are not blowing yet. So let's open this one. I opened it too far. And so as you see, I just put it so basically it just covers right over the windows. Oh, that breeze feels good. These greenhouses are naturally supposed to be warmer. So you could definitely feel the difference. I'm already starting to sweat. It's a little sauna-like in here. Alright, so let's see how this cools the greenhouse off with no fan blowing. As you see now, the sun is starting to move. And because it's cloudy, that panel is not getting solar just yet. And neither is that one. So that's good to know. That cloud coverage definitely impacts things. So we'll see. You should see cloud coverage. So we'll see here in a little bit. So let's do a plant check. All right, so I have some seedlings that I still need to get put down. This is a Mexican sunflower. That's a Mexican sunflower. These don't have to go in pots. This kind of looks like a new sprout. Oh boy, so that's 3 Mexican sunflower plants that need to go somewhere, and they get 5 to 6 feet tall and very bushy. And they said they were hard to grow. Well, not for Tarila, clearly. But anyway, these are 2 cantaloupe seedlings. That's a nasturtium. These are marigolds. And then these are still some pepper seedlings that I need to put out. So I'm basically probably going to put them right here. The borage that I took out of the strawberry pot, the first one, it's finally looking like it's starting to come back to life from being stressed for a couple days. So that is good. This is a pepper seedling that I transplanted the other day. There's another one. It's doing good. This is one I transplanted a while ago. Its first leaves are starting to fall off, and it looks like it's getting a new one. I originally planted 3 zinnias. Only 2 have emerged so far, but I think it's because this corner of the bed is not getting a lot of sun. But what is interesting here is this tomato seedling. Looks like it's gonna get its first flower. I need to do some reading, but I'm almost certain I should probably clip that off. I don't want to, but I'm almost certain I'm supposed to. But I'll do some more reading. Peas are starting to grab, but what I'm really excited about is this is the Space Master cucumber, and 1 tendril grabbing, and there's a second tendril right there getting ready to grab. This is good for cucumbers because once they can grab, that signals to the plant that they're supposed to start growing more. As you can see, it's getting its first little flowers here. So this is a good sign. So I may be getting some fruiting here soon. I did see yesterday that a bee was kind of curious, but I have some netting. So I'm probably gonna roll the netting up to this second, take it from here and roll it up to this rail during the day so that they can come in, because bee highway is starting to work. So this is good. This is a good sign. Space Master cucumbers grow really well in Arizona. They did wonderful last year, except for when I had to move. 1 out of 3 gave me some cucumbers. Another one started to die. And so hopefully this year I get more, because Hubs loved pickles made with Space Master cucumbers. Alright, so I'm fighting with net here and trying to step over. And as I said, when the season is done and over with, I'm definitely going to put some more space between these beds, because it's getting ridiculously crampy. Alright, so this one is getting a tendril, sorry. And I'm just gonna help it a little bit. But this one is, it's poinsettia. Poinsettia is a vining cucumber. Space Masters are bush. This one seems to be doing better than the poinsettia, which poinsettia was my first cucumber attempt, my first year. And I got attacked by cucumber beetles pretty bad. And I just didn't know what I was doing. I was leaving them on too long. I wasn't watering them right, so on and so forth. So this bed with the cucumbers and the tomatoes in them are the beds that have the soaker holes in them, and they seem to be doing just fine. I run the soaker hose for about 30 minutes to completely soak the soil every other day right now, and it's doing just fine. Some more peppers. This was the okra seedling. I don't know if it's going to do that great. This gets a lot of shade. This was the second borage that I pulled from the strawberry container. And as you see, basil. I've already harvested basil off both of them. This is starting to look like it wants to flower again, so I'll probably harvest those off today. If it starts to flower, that's telling the plant it needs to stop, and I don't need it to stop. I need it to keep going. And these are transplants that I got from Sprouts. Alright, so that is the Italian Roma. This is the San Marcazo Roma. My cherry tomato seedlings, all of them died. These are the last 2 that I was trying to salvage. They're gonna die, so, which I'm not too upset about because I don't have space. Alright, so let's see. These are echinacea seedlings, and I need to move them because they're starting to get roots out. But yeah, everything is doing pretty good. The zinnias on these, but again, all 3 of these came up because this bed gets full sun. The potato plant that I need it to hurry up and go to harvest. Other things that have happened is that both watermelon plants are starting to look like they want to grab something. Clearly, I didn't pay attention to what I needed to do because I honestly needed this part of the plant to be facing that direction. And I didn't do right. Oop, you can't see with the camera over there. So I'm gonna have to train it to go that way. I have some garden twine, so I think I might just use that. Sorry, I have a bird that visits the trees, and I can hear it. It's right. It always feels like it's near me, but it's not. But here we go. So the season is looking good so far. All right, so let's go look at another area. All right, maybe it wasn't a bird I was hearing. It's the drips from the raised bed. that I'm hearing. So that one pea plant that I said did not look healthy during the winter months, this is new. It wants to grab, and it's grabbing onto the potato plants. So I need to go. I gotta get better with my videos. I want it to grab, be very gentle, but I want it to grab onto the trellis. So plants are really smart. So in a couple minutes I'll come back and that little tip of that tendril should wrap around the trellis. I want to do the same thing with this one. See how it just is looking for something to grab. And this one had already started to curl. So I'm gonna see if I can get it to grab onto one of these using that one that's already curled up. All right, success. So I was able to gently just kind of unravel and make that grab there. And unfortunately, because I was touching on that, it moved that, but I just situated that tendril so it goes right there. But good news is it is already grabbing in other spots. It's gonna take you and try my best to pop you right there. All right. So these potato plants, this one is especially starting to look like it's spotting up. I fed them the other day, so just to give them a little boost, and hopefully I get more potatoes. The lettuce, I'm in a clammy spot, yo. So I got lettuce that is doing really good. So it's benefiting from the shade. My zinnias. Yay. Those were the ones that I put in here maybe December or January. I can't remember. It might have been January. That would make more sense. Put more lettuce. This is the lettuce that Hubs really, really likes. It's sweet. So I made sure I planted plenty of those. The onions that I started inside and transplanted are standing up now. Chamomile. The spinach is still trying. I hope it gets something before it gets too hot. But it's still trying. The dill. And more peas. And I just planted these and they've already started to climb and want to grab. So again, I'm just going to try to help the plant out here just a little bit. So hopefully in a couple minutes, that tendril right there will grab. All right, I'll take a step over. Maybe not, because that's water right there. Well, I'm gonna have to come over. Right, I made it over. Okay, so in this bag, which I need to fold down, all right, so this bag, which I just folded it down, and part of the reason I needed to fold it down is because one of the pole beans, or maybe a bush bean, I can't remember. This happened on a bag outside of the trellis too. The bean is kind of growing off the side of the bag. I have no idea if this is going to be a problem later or not, but I'm not going to disturb it. I'm going to leave it alone. But I'm probably going to have to turn this bag because I don't want the beans out this way. I actually want them toward the trellis. So this may, in fact, help my little buddy that's right there get more sun. Ooh. This is a 10-gallon grow bag, so it's kind of heavy. Okay, so there we go. Whew. All right, so things are doing good. This is zucchini that I want to train vertically, so this is going to be my experiment. I may take some twine and stake it down into the ground and run it up so that's going straight vertical up to the top of the trellis. Not sure yet about what I want to do, but I got time. I'm very happy because it's so funny how fertile the soil is. These mushrooms pop up, not edible, but good sign that the soil is doing what it needs to do. The two composts and soils that I've been using has wood in them, and I watched a documentary, I think it's called Back to Eden, and I know a lot of people have been complaining lately because lots of soils have wood chips in them, but if it's pretty ground down, it's beneficial because that stuff eventually breaks down slowly and creates organic matter in the soil. You just have to keep putting things, organic matter, in it, and I've been doing that. Like I have some dehydrated citrus peels in the house, and I just learned this morning that I potentially can burn those and they will make potash, which is a potassium rich ash that can be used in gardening. And if that works, that's gonna be a game changer because I eat a lot of citrus. But anywho, this potato plant is coming to its end, and this is good because this means that I can harvest these soon. And now something else can go there. Again, this poor spinach is really trying hard. It just got completely covered by the potatoes. More lettuce. These were the okra that I transplanted the other day, and they love this spot. That is the pea plant that needs to be harvested. 1, 2, it's doing good. I'm hoping this one in the next week or two starts to look like that one so I can have this space. So this is making me happy because I was getting worried I wasn't gonna be able to harvest soon enough to get something in this bed. So now that I'm learning, just based on what I've done so far, I'm 100% certain that I'm gonna put something very sun-loving in this bed because the okra are loving this. Now, will it be more okra? Maybe. Big maybe. Because I want to put okra in the greenhouse too, but I have a lot of okra seeds in the house being soaked. So we'll see. Some carrots that I put in there in November, they're still doing their thing. They seem to be sprouting up more now because they're getting more sun because this potato plant is not hogging at all. And I'm very anxious. Like, this is where I get anxious and I want to dig early. And there is a strong possibility that it might be some teeny tiny potatoes, and I don't want to do that. I hear a lot more birds in my yard than I did when we first moved here, which makes me happy. Because in my other house, I like coming out and listening to the birds. Alright, so again, spinach in there trying. I think that's all in this bed that I want to share. These peas are searching. They want to grab. So this time I'm just a bug on me. I'm probably just gonna sit the trellis on the tendril, and it sounds like the fans on the greenhouse are on. So let me go check that out, and I'll come back to that later. All right. So still partially covered, but the sun is higher. It is about 9 a.m., so about 30 minutes later. And they came on yesterday about the same time. They're definitely on. Once this plane moves on with its life, you'll be able to hear them more. So that's the hard part about living next to an airport. The planes. But it's on, and that's not even full speed. Because again, this one is facing, I faced it at southeast, and I'm probably going to leave it, but just to show. That's full sun speed. Back southeast. A little bit east. See? So it's facing the sun. And that, you can feel it. Hubs came out yesterday, and he's like, I think you should get more fans. And I ordered 2 more. Now, these are not going to go in the geothermal tube. One, they have a solar panel situated on them, so I won't have to worry about that literally. I'll take a picture, show a video later. But one is going to sit on the shelf, and another one is going to sit on the table. And the goal is to get air to circulate through the greenhouse, move around. You want to try to keep that happening because that's what keeps it cooler. It's not as humid in here as it was about 30 minutes ago. So some of that moisture has escaped out through the windows. And let's check the temperature. We're sitting at about 80. I would have to turn the camera off. To see how hot it is outside. 80 degrees. So not that big of a climb with the sun coming up and a shade tarp. Alright, so I just went inside to check the weather, and it is 78 degrees outside. So that's about equal. That's good news. Good news, good news, good news. Yesterday it stayed about equal. It was about a 10-degree difference. Except for, geez, always, Tarila. Yeah. Except for about the hour, and I would say less of time that the fans actually shut off because they weren't getting direct sunlight. Because the sun had moved west and where they were situated at. So I think that is all I have to update with. I'm sorry, I'm kind of tangential right now. See, and I, like, what is that? I think that might be a white fly. I'm hoping those are not baby white flies. Ugh. Anyway, this is lettuce. Just got a little anxious. But they're getting bigger, which is good. So I'm hoping we can come out and snip some off soon and have a salad. I think that's all I got. And that's my morning update. I love that. Isn't that pretty? Just pretty. I love it, I love it, I love it.